Welcome back to Weekend AM, where I'm in the American Midwest. We're here for the inaugural Great Pink Run Chicago, which is taking place later today. Now, yesterday I caught up with the patron and ambassador of the event, Sonia Sullivan, as well as some of those who've benefited from the money raised by Breast Cancer Ireland. Sonia, can you believe it? The first time that the Great Pink Run has gone transatlantic, and the time is almost here for the 5K and 10K race tomorrow. Very exciting.
It's really exciting, and it's hard to believe we're back here again. We were here in June for the launch, and it was a bit different then. It was quite warm. It's a bit more like autumn now, but it's perfect running weather, so it should be great, for the Great Pink Run tomorrow. Really looking forward to it, and hope, that the city of Chicago will embrace the run as the people in Dublin did and in Kilkenny. It's a great mix of people, and I think when everybody comes dressed in pink, then they're all making a statement. And it's not just a women's race. You have the men and I suppose the fathers and the husbands and the sons all coming out to support the females.
And a great event, of course, needs a great ambassador, which is what you are, because you've so dedicated and travelling to Ireland for the last number of years. And here we are in Chicago. How long did the flight take from Melbourne?
It was a bit of a long trip, but it's actually not as long as going to Ireland. So it was about 20 hours. So, it's nearly a day out of your life. But, I have gone to Dublin and Kilkenny a couple of times as well for the Great Pink Run. And every time I think I've come from somewhere different. It's always something I look forward to and love being a part of. So really looking forward to see how it works out here in Chicago, and we'll be up bright and early tomorrow morning.
Georgie, delighted to see you here in Chicago. Not just yourself, but your entire extended family.
We're all here.
I love it. And baby Pia as well, happy there with her grandma. It's an incredibly poignant time for you tomorrow, because I believe it's an anniversary of sorts.
Yeah, so I found a lump on my breast on the 5th of October 2017. So 2 years to the day we are here in Chicago at the Great Pink Run. So yeah, it's going to be a very emotional day. I'm a little bit nervous, but when Breast Cancer Ireland approached me and said they were bringing the run to America, I said, okay, I'd love to do it. What's the date? And they said the 5th of October, and I said, I'm there.
It was a sign. It was definitely a sign.
I was in such a hole. I was in a dark hole, and to be here this weekend with my family, to be well enough to run 10K with my husband, I feel blessed. It's incredible.
Lovely way to put it, feeling blessed. And we have Jamie and Siobhan here, and beautiful baby Pia, who was even a more tiny baby when you were sick a couple of years ago. And we often talk to people undergoing treatment. It's an incredibly emotional time, and one where they really have to find the strength. But it also affects family, friends, partners, parents, children as well. How was it for you during those dark days?
It was really tough. Everything in your life sort of just becomes very tunnel vision to that one goal, and getting through it and sort of keeping Georgie positive and trying to keep spirits up. But with our situation, we had a 7-month-old child kind of thrown into the mix as well, so it was difficult. It was the true sort of family unit coming together, and actually that's what this whole thing kind of brought to us from a positive point of view.
Siobhan, no parent ever wants to see their child unwell. It must have been devastating for you to hear this.
It was absolutely devastating, yeah. I mean, to watch your child go through what Georgie had to go through, no mother wants to do that. But we got through it, we all pulled together. She was so positive. She was, helped us get through the whole journey.
Cancer brings so much sadness, yet it can bring so much positivity. It's obviously made us closer than ever. My health is my priority. I am now a priority to myself, which I never was before. So yeah, self-care and wellness has become a massive part of my life. And just to anyone who is going through a tough time, there is light at the end of the tunnel. This day can come for you too, where things are normal again and you feel happy. So that's really my message to people.
I didn't realise that you both actually met at the Great Pink Run in Ireland a couple of years ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so 2 years ago we both took part in our first Great Pink Run. At the time we both had just started our chemotherapy. We actually met on the start line for the first time, and then we connected through that and are now great friends, lifelong friends, so it's really special for us to be here in Chicago to continue our support of the Great Pink Run.
How are you feeling about racing, ladies?
Very excited, actually. Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity for us both to come over here and run together. I'm looking forward to it. It will be an emotional day for me. I ran Dublin City Marathon just before I was diagnosed with breast cancer a couple of years ago, so it will be a big deal for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Aisling, Chicago for the Great Pink Run. How did this brainwave come to you?
Well, unfortunately, we were, after horrendous rain last year in Dublin, 6,500 people in the Phoenix Park, back in Kilkenny, getting ready for the Kilkenny event. And we sat down and said, wouldn't it be so great if we could really take this international? We had a few little glasses of wine, and the next morning somebody said to me, you do remember you said this? And I said, unfortunately, I do. So we just said, look, let's try our best. Let's see, can we get sponsors on board to cover our cost? And if we can, then let's just make it happen.
Chatting to some of the participants and your ambassadors earlier on, they spoke about the feeling and the emotion of the Great Pink Run back at home in Dublin and Kilkenny. It's a very emotional event. It brings a lot of joy and some sadness and a time for reflection too.
Absolutely. We've now sort of nicknamed it a movement, because it is really a movement of people coming together, because unfortunately everybody knows somebody who's been diagnosed with breast cancer. I mean, statistically in Ireland we have 1 in 9 women who'll be diagnosed in their lifetime. Here in Chicago there's 1 in 8 women. So, the incidence of breast cancer is still quite high, and while we are making women a lot more aware, so we are catching it early, which is very good, and our survival rates are improving year on year. In Ireland we have survival rate of maybe 85%. It's not as good as where it should be, and that's why it's so important to keep investing in research.
And the Great Pink Run takes place here in Chicago later today. We'll be showing you how everyone got on tomorrow on the show. Coming up in the next hour today, I'm taking on America's 3rd largest city from the water when I travel down the Chicago River to check out the sights. But for now, it's back to studio.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks,
it just
Laura.
shows the scale of the event and the whole initiative now that it's gone to Chicago.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, yeah.
Yeah. And all of this coverage, by the way, we're on board with it. It's great fun. It's very honest chats and interesting experiences from people who have gone through it. But it's all a reminder to check your breasts.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done it, you're supposed to do it. I know Linda Keating from the Marie Keating Foundation told me recently, and I hadn't realised it, you should be doing it every month. So
Really?
not just, I checked them a few months ago, every single month.
Constantly
and
stay
as
on
the
it.
ladies were saying, all that money's going towards research.
Saves lives, doesn't
Exactly.
it?
Look forward to hearing from Laura and seeing how they all get on tomorrow.